Good morning, you beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We talk all things life, love, spirituality, law of attraction, and all of that juicy goodness. We are here for our weekly energy reading. I'm going to call in my guides, Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, to please open sacred space. Please only allow the highest and whitest light messages to come through. Please bless me, my cards, my table, all of my beautiful viewers. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Sorry, I'm a little delayed with my reading, but I had a jam-packed weekend, super fun. I worked all weekend. I had 3 Reiki sessions, which was so wonderful. And one of my clients got the best news ever. We've been trying to schedule a Reiki appointment because she's been doing IVF, and she just got like the best news yesterday. So I felt like the Reiki energy has been helping her body align and prepare her. So fingers crossed for whatever the universe has for her. And a really beautiful message came through in her session that the little soul that wants to come in was telling her, Mom, it wasn't time yet. All these years that you've been trying, it just wasn't time yet. Because if you think about it, us as souls, our mission is not always connected to all of the people around us. It's our own personal soul's mission, our own personal growth. So when a soul decides to come in, it's because it's going to be here for a certain time period. So, when 2020 happened and I awakened 2 years prior to that, just ironically awakened, perfect timing. I became a guide for other people who are going to start to wake up because my soul chose to be at this age to guide people, to assist people, to get on their mission, to awaken, to understand why everything is happening. So I had to be born. It's funny that I used this cup this morning. In 1982, I turned 40 this year. So my soul chose to come in 1982 so that I could be this age with my experiences to perform, to do whatever I need to do to help our planet elevate. So I was trying to educate, I was trying to relay the message that I was getting for this woman that her little soul, that her little baby soul that wants to come in, she'd been trying for years, but that soul was saying, it's not time yet. It's not time. And it's hard in those situations because as humans, we want to force it. We want to make it happen. But the soul comes in when the soul is ready. So it was a really relaxing and soothing message that came through for her because I felt like her whole body just relaxed. And she was like, oh my gosh, it's not up to me. It's not my job to force this happen. I'm not doing anything wrong with my body or my health or anything. So it was really cool. But anyway, she got great news yesterday. So fingers crossed for this week for her. I think she goes for an ultrasound and all that jazz. And as I just said that, I got a message. So I feel like that's confirmation. And also today is my dad's birthday. He turned 70 today. So shout out to him. We called him Paps, Papa, Pop, the dude, 37. His lucky number was 37. He was an incredible baseball player. He played in the College World Series. We actually just went to a Phillies game last spring to honor him because they honored his team. They're in the Hall of Fame. So today is his birthday. All of the nurses, when he was diagnosed with cancer, they would like call him out, to bring him back into the other rooms for chemo and stuff. And they wouldn't say his name. They would call him by his birthday. They'd be like 2652, 2652. And he loved that. So he liked things that were out of the ordinary. So if you have a name and your name is Susan, he would have found a nickname for you in a heartbeat. He would change the lyrics to songs all the time to make it more fun and interesting. He just was the coolest. One time, my friend, these are just some examples of how he made life more fun for us. And I think I've told you guys on my channel before that bumblebees are a really big thing for me with him. Because every morning when I was in like middle school and high school, he would be my wake up call. He'd be my alarm, and he'd come in and he had a mustache, and he would bring his mustache like right close to my cheek, and he would like buzz like a bumblebee in my ear. And he'd be like, shush, it's time to wake up. My nickname was Shush. And he would say, and he'd be like, Bzz, and it would be like a little tickle, but it would be like annoying, but it'd be cute. So I couldn't get mad at him. And every morning he woke me up that way. But he just found ways to make life fun in the small moments. He would always sneak up on me. And he was such like he was a ninja. He was so quiet. You never knew when he was coming, when he was creeping around a corner. One time with my friend, which I was going to say before, I think she might have bumped somebody's car out front of my house. And so she slept over, and she was a college friend. The next morning we wake up and my dad took a tire. We had like a spare tire in the garage. Oh, you know what it was? It was a tire in the backyard because when I was younger, I used to be a pitcher for softball. So he set up a tire for me, and I would pitch and try to, aim for the center of the tire, which I was really good. I hated batting. I was terrible at batting. I would always strike out. I would get in my head, but pitching, I was really good. So anyway, he would set up this tire for me. So he took this tire, he wrapped a rope inside of it, and he hung it on her car. So it was between her front bumper and the car in front of her. So we woke up the next morning and she has a tire tied to her car, kind of preventing her from hitting another car. And he just did it as a joke. Like, it was just to make us laugh. So he was filled with joy and with the small moments and not being flashy out in public. He just was very quiet and reserved, but when he spoke, he was funny and he was smart and he was driven, and he just worked his whole life for us kids. And he is just somebody who I want to celebrate for the rest of my life, because he has made my 40 years or 39 years incredible. So shout out to him. Happy birthday to the dude. Drop it in the comments. Everybody drink a Pepsi for him today. He loved Pepsi. He loved Lifesavers. He was just such a sweet tooth type of guy. I love him so much and I miss him. And if you want to see a photo of him real fast, my sister sent this in our group chat this morning. He was always given a funny eye. There you go. Look at his hair. He had the best hair. And here's a good shot of him too. He would always sit out back. We had a cool little TV out back. He would sit out back and just watch the kids in the pool and do the yard work. He loved cutting the grass. He always made the perfect lines. He was a great vacuumer. He would always vacuum the house, and he would make the perfect, he would do perfect lines, and then he'd make a circle in the center and be like a crop circle. And we wouldn't see his footprints on how he would come out. So thank you for letting me share all that. I just had a thought that was like, Michelle, they're here for the reading. They're not here for you to talk about your life. But I know some of you don't mind that. So let's get started. Open sacred space. We're going to start with Micah Magic. Actually, I just saw the lion card in one of my animal decks, and it's number 37, which reminds me of my dad. So I think my dad was just showing me this deck to use this instead. Maybe that card will come out. All right, let's tap into what is the energy for this week. We had a full moon yesterday in Leo, which is also that lion energy. It's all about romance and pleasure and creativity. I think this is my first filming since I came back from Texas, which was such a unique experience. I still don't know what to make of it. I went all the way there and I brought the New Jersey weather with me, so not sure why the universe did that. I met some amazing people, some soul tribe. They were freaking awesome. Okay, the wasp. Ooh, sometimes life stings. So this week might be an energy, and it's number 64, which adds up to 10, which is a completion. So there might be something coming to an end, and it might feel painful. I'm considering a move, and it's also similar to the bumblebee. I feel like the wasp and bees are kind of the same too. So it's like you've been working so hard on something and maybe it's just not happening. Just like my client with IVF. It's like sometimes life stings. Sometimes we have to go through tough things and we're like, what the heck is going on? Why do I have to make this decision? Why do I have to move? Why do I have to leave this partnership when there's nothing wrong? So here's what it looks like. And if you can look, it's almost like a huge moon with this beautiful pattern behind the wasp. I'm seeing a moon. I don't know about you guys, and completion, it's almost like the world card. Things are coming to a close. It's like a chapter is closing and ending, and you're being forced to leave something behind, and it's really painful. So I'm so sorry if you're going through that right now. I know I had a dream last night, and I would invite you all to, before you go to sleep each night, ask your guides and angels to protect you during your your dream space, and ask them to show you what you need to hear. Because when we need to make change in our life and when we need to take action on things, sometimes the universe is showing it to us in our reality, but we're distracted and we're not listening. It might be something simple as, clean out your closet or change your wardrobe. And you're hearing that thought and you're going, why am I going to get rid of all of my clothes? Why do I need to change this? But your guides are saying, we need you to purge the old you because you're becoming somebody new. It might also be like, hey, you need to go to this restaurant more often. Doesn't make sense, but you just start going there. Follow those little nudges. I made a post on Instagram and on my community page about how when we track what happened 3 days ago, we track what happened the last 3 days. You write down any happenings. Did somebody new message you? Did you get an offer to go somewhere? Write down all the things that happened and then look at it and say, what is the universe trying to show me here? Wow, that's a repeating message that I got 3 days in a row. I keep hearing Florida, and I don't know if it's because I'm thinking about it, so I'm attracting it, but I feel a call to go to Florida. And I felt the call before I went to Texas. And I just felt like I wanted warm weather. I wanted like the palm tree vibe. And then I chose Texas instead. And then I got to Texas and I got an ice storm. So I don't know if that was the universe saying, Michelle, you made the wrong decision. But I also had some great experiences when I was in Texas. So I think it was just all a learning lesson. And I faced a lot of fear going to Texas as well, which I'll talk about later. But when I totally just lost my train of thought because I just looked at the wasp and I was thinking of completion again. What was I just talking about? Oh, the 3 days, my Instagram post. Thank you. So when we are reevaluating what's happening or what's coming up in our minds, in our reality, we have to look at it and say, okay, the universe is literally bringing something to me. I have to entertain this. I can't just ignore it because it's just going to get louder and louder. So take inventory of your life and figure out what is coming up for you. What decision might you have to make that doesn't feel right, but you just know in your gut that you have to do it. And my advice to you is one day you will wake up and you will just know, and it will be time. They really shot out. And I just got a vision. I was driving with my niece Eva last night. We went and got acai bowls, and we were driving and we saw a raccoon, literally a raccoon, just walking across the street, taking his good old time. I was the only one on the road. It was meant for our eyes. And the raccoon card represents somebody taking a mask off. So that's an ego death. It's the mask of who we thought we were, what partnerships we thought we were supposed to be in. That is starting to come off, and that can sting because you're like, wait, I thought that this was my person. I thought I was going to be with them forever. And, we have children together, or we just bought a house together. Like, I have so many clients going through this and the mask is coming off, but it was because they came together with that person to grow and to learn. And sometimes the universe is like, light switch off. You completed that contract. Now we have to move you out and move you into a higher love connection. And that is painful because it doesn't make sense. You're like, wait, why am I being moved? Why, universe, don't make me have to do this. I know I've experienced that in my life and it is not fun. Okay, so during this, it's divine detours. So we have the coyote, divine detours, and then we also have the porcupine, which is saying it's a beginner's mind. You're learning, you're starting fresh. You're having to start all over again. So where in your life do you feel like you need to let go of something? You need to start a new job, start a new business. Oh, my nose is itching like crazy right now. That means something. And it's not the old school meaning of, oh, you're going to get in a fight. But there's something that, sorry, give me 1 second. Eyes. Okay, so the itching, my eye just started itching. I just feel like I'm itching all over. So it's almost a sense of an irritability. So you are going through this full moon might have brought on some irritability, some frustration. You're like, why is this happening? I don't understand it. But Spirit is saying it's a divine detour. You can trust it. You're meant to go in this direction. And when you go willingly without kicking and screaming, it unfolds so much easier. Like I knew I needed to take that trip to Texas. And I was kind of like, oh, I don't know. But I was having the thought. So when I'm having the thought, it's like, we got to do it. And now I guess I'll share my fears with you. So I don't know if it was COVID or what, but I used to be able to travel alone and be fine. I think it's maybe because I'm so awake now and I know about all the hidden things that go on in our world and all the terrible things that happen in our world. And being a single girl, I don't know if you guys know this, but most feminine energy, we're just innately nervous and scared. We fear being taken advantage of. We fear being attacked. We fear, like, it's just scary crossing a street for us. Where the masculine energy, they don't necessarily have that. And then you top it with what are our life experiences, and that adds to the fear and the just the worry. But also, ever since my dad passed, I have this new sense of, oh, I don't feel safe in the world. It's like I lost my person. I lost that protective barrier. And I have to learn to be okay because Spirit has me. Spirit has a plan. Spirit is always guiding me. So as a soul, like I said in the beginning of this reading, we come in here as souls and we're not here to say like I can't live without so and so. We have to learn to be okay on our own. We have to learn to explore and to travel and to be solid in our sovereignty and just be who we are and not rely on everybody else. But it's good to lean on community and to people for love and safety and just the warmth of it. But we should be able to survive on our own. And I think that's what my lesson was for this trip was I was even just driving in my rental car and everything was not working out. I was like, I'm not able to go to a restaurant. I'm not able to, I'd go in and they would say it's a 40-minute wait. And then I go to another place, I couldn't find parking. And I'm like, what is the universe telling me? Is it like, get out of Texas? It was like all these detours. But I was learning to pray in that process. And I always pray, but I was learning to pray even more. So where in your life are you getting these detours? You keep trying to force something to happen and it's not meant to happen. And you just have to let go, trust in the divine detour, follow the nudges. If you're having a thought, do it, explore it, and see what comes from it. And if things are stinging you and things don't feel right, ask, universe, what am I missing? What do you want me to do? I know you have me doing this for a reason and I just don't know why. Please show me. Literally ask and you'll get answers. Actually, I'm just being guided now to use my ever unfolding heart deck. I haven't used this one in a while. My other Micah deck kind of took over. She stole the show. A celebration is coming, new partnerships, marriage, pregnancy, moving, an opportunity, promotion. You are worthy of this abundant time. Soak in the deliciousness, the yumminess. Partnerships, that's what I keep hearing. New connections. And the stinging is because of old partnerships are ending. And a beginner mind mean it's kind of like starting all over again. But you're taking all the tools. You're taking all the tools. You guys are not going to believe the cards I just got that you learned from your previous partnership, and you're taking it with you into your new one. Fuck yeah, your higher love is coming. So I just heard that the stinging of the past relationship, that past relationship was everything you needed at that time. But now a higher love is coming and it's saying, sit back and receive. So it's those little innate desires that you've always had where you're like, I always wanted a partner to do this with, or I always wanted a partner who I could lay in bed with and talk about changing the world with. Or I always wanted a partner who we could travel and have fun and talk to strangers and interact and kind of like shine our light together. That kind of love is what's stepping in right now. And in order for that to step in, it's going to sting a little because we literally have to let go of what we're comfortable with. And then we have changes coming. It's a good change. Feel the anxiety, see it as excitement. You can't deny the feeling. Once you feel it, you can't unfeel it. So when you know you need to do something, it's just going to always be there. And then it says, what would your inner child want to do today? Playground, movies, paint, be outside, strap your little self in the seat next to you and go. Self-love is needed now and always, which is what I'm doing today. Mondays are like my day off because I always work on the weekends. So I am going to be doing lots of things for myself today. And it's going to be, I think, 50 degrees today. So your girl is going to be outside, frolicking around in nature, listening to what I need to be doing. And I said listening, and look what we got. You are getting messages through music. All right. Quick little coffee break. And I just saw the Muse deck, so I'm going to read a page out of there. I don't know why, but we're going to do that. Here's to coffee. Fun fact. I don't know about you guys. Have you guys always been caffeine drinkers? Have you always needed something in the morning? I went 30, I think I was 31. I went 30 years without anything, like never smoked a cigarette, still have never smoked a cigarette or smoked pot. I've only ever drank alcohol, literally didn't have caffeine up until I turned 31. And that's when it was the year after my daughter passed. And it was like, I was so depressed that I just was like, I need something to pick me up. So that was like my one vice. And it's just kind of always been there since. But I can do without it. But lately I've been like totally weaning off. But yeah, I used to be very judgmental of other people that would do those things. That was my ego. Cause I just was like, why do you need something to alter your being? Like, you're just perfect as you are. You don't need all these things. But then I experienced my loss and I was like, oh, now I know why people need those things. Because it's pain that causes them to want to escape the pain. So I totally get it. All addictions, I welcome them because I'm just like, you know what, that person's struggling. And if they need that for right now, then let them have that. Oh no, it says my disc is almost full. Not cool. Okay. Let's go and let's see. Random page. 6 of inspiration. It says victory and recognition, a homecoming, being seen, recognition for a job well done, being thanked, the spotlight, healing your fear of success. I love that. The fear of success. So you guys know I love talking about fear. I'm getting certified right now in the 12-week program with the fear guy, Ben Harris, and the group of us that we have our first call this week. We're going to be diving into our personal fears for the first 6 weeks, and then he's going to coach us on how to become more equipped to help you all through your fear. So the fear of success, normally, like, let's talk about that for a minute. And I'm going to pull cards too as well. But the fear of success a lot of times comes from, do you fear outshining other family members in your environment, in your community, in your home? If you're successful, does that mean that makes other people feel bad? Or do you fear success, like it's all going to fall apart if you become successful and everybody sees you, and then what if it doesn't work out? Or what if it doesn't last? So then a lot of times people don't take action and they don't do those things. I was on a flight with a girl on my way home from Texas. And maybe I did do a video about this. I don't remember, but she had a fear of success because her parents want her to be a veterinarian and she doesn't want to be. And she literally just moved from Philly to Texas. It was so synchronistic how we were put on the same flight in the same row next to each other. And she was saying, I was teaching her about fear and about the fear course. Of course, the universe brought me this conversation, and I was teaching her about why she might be fearing success and why she might not be going all in. And she's going all in, but she's still like hearing her parents' voice in her head saying like, well, we want you to be doing this. And what are you doing? Like, that's not why we paid for you to go to college. And she's hearing that loop. So she was coming to the realization herself with my guidance of just like, okay, why do I do that? Why am I not going all in? And it was beautiful to watch her come up with her own answer. And she just was like, she's like, I am just I feel like I'm going to be a disappointment to them. If I'm successful, then I disappoint my parents. And that was her limiting belief. And then she literally took out her phone in her notes section and she wrote down a new belief that if she's successful, she's showing her parents what's possible. She's showing other people, she's modeling how to chase your dreams and how to go against the grain. So it was a really powerful conversation. But who out there, who are you guys fearing success? Are you not taking action on something because you're scared of what that might feel like to feel joy and to receive abundance? Can you handle it? Can you hold on to it? Do you fear losing it? Our ego will totally jump in and sabotage us and say that it's too good to be true and it's all going to fall apart. And that's where the wasp comes in, because maybe I just got a great message. Maybe you think right now your life is the best it's ever going to get. This is so good. They're saying you think your life right now is the best it's ever going to get, but you don't even know that the universe has something way bigger, way better, more fulfilling. It's going to hit on all those little innate desires that you've always wanted. And it's saying, hey, you think it's good right now, but there's something better. And that's what you're needing to call in, or to leave, or to let go of. And that fear of, wait, I think everything's good right now, so I'm just going to stay here and I'm not going to go be more successful. And the universe is saying, we need you to move towards that fear, because you are meant to be successful. You are meant to have all of your desires. And then we have emerging into grace. I open my soul to grace. And this could be compassion, forgiveness. I always just say, give yourself grace. Anytime you're going through something difficult, when life is stinging you, like, allow it to be there and just say, okay, let me feel this. Let me feel it so it doesn't keep resurfacing. And give yourself grace. Like, life is hard. Like, these decisions are really, really hard, especially when we're affecting other people. It can be really difficult. And the messages through music just came up again for me. And I feel like they just said, get a charm. I feel like your guides are wanting to speak to you and you're not maybe hearing them. So they're going to be sending you songs. Okay, so we have a little girl. So this is a childlike energy. So the partner that you're calling in, she has a very vibrant childlike energy, or the person. It doesn't have to be a woman. But this represents a childlike love, like you're together and you just play and you laugh, but you're also very serious and driven and you want to change the world. And they hold the key to all of your desires. It's almost like they just gave me a vision of the masculine is, the feminine is the lock on the door and the masculine is the key. So it's like inserting the key into the lock, which can be seen as sexual, but it really is that. It's the perfect match. Somebody out there has the key to your lock, to that door, to your success. And when you guys come together, it unlocks something. And then you're now living out your highest mission in the highest love partnership. And that's all mission. That key represents your mission. So it's like you need each other to do your mission. And then I have the owl. So this represents a boon or a treasure that's on the way. So this could mean that your person's on the way to you. They're flying to you and they can see through the dark, and they are maybe not sleeping, nocturnal. So maybe they're not getting sleep because they can't stop thinking about you. Let's do a Micah magic deck again. Oh, and I brought these candles out for some reason. So my niece and I, before I went to Texas, I wanted to do a cord cutting ceremony. Have you guys ever done that? Where you line up 2 candles and then you wrap a little cord or yarn or something, or twine, and you wrap it around. So these 2 candles were the same height. And then my niece and I did a figure 8 around, and then we let them burn. And then it burned down to the rope. And then we watched which candle either fell over or which candle burned quicker. And you label one candle, my throat chakra is going nuts. So what I did and what we did for her She had another set of 2 candles. This was me, and then this was all of my past partners. And anybody that physically touched me, anybody that hurt me, anybody that was there for a lesson. So we burned both, and you can see that my second one, all of my exes, that burned quicker. So that means I was still standing. I was still strong. I still hold more light. And they did not bring me down, or I didn't allow them that energy to tear me down. So that was a good sign for me. And it burns different every time. So when you get 2 candles, you can see how beautiful they ended up, all the wax. It looks like a little heart at the bottom. But the most recent guy that I was intimate with, that was like my biggest, not my biggest pain, but it was the most free I ever felt. And I just felt like such a connection with him. I felt like I was like, I could totally spend the rest of my life with you. And it's just easy. It's just simple. Like there was no, like when we were together, it was kind of like, it was almost like it was just me in the room and there was nobody else there. It was just peaceful. And that was probably really, well, it was really painful for me when it didn't work out, because I'm just like, wait, I'm never going to feel that again. Like, what if I never feel that again? What if I, don't have that, we had such a physical attraction to each other. I still think about it all the time. I'm just like, how could I just want somebody so bad? But I had to do a cord cutting because I was just like, I have to let this go. It's never going to happen. So I did the burning and it was awesome. I felt good afterwards. Then we did my niece and her, any kind of people, maybe friends, because she doesn't have any boyfriend yet. So we did that for her. So I'm being guided to tell you all, when life stings and things don't work out, I think that means obviously rejection is redirection. We're being redirected to something better, or it's just not time yet. But we have to cut the cord. We have to move on. We have to keep living our life. We can't just sit around and wait for something to unfold that's never going to unfold. And it can be really hard and difficult. So if you're in that situation where you're quote unquote, like you're waiting, we don't wait. Right? We elevate, we grow ourselves, we do things, we live life, we put ourselves in situations to meet new people. And in order to do that, you have to cut cords. You have to energetically say, I release this person, I love them to death, but if it's not for my highest good and it's not for right now, then please just let me live my life. Let me feel good. And that will help you. That's why I wanted to do that before I went to Texas, because I wanted to open myself up to meet new people, to maybe meet my person. So 100% cut some cords, do a cord cutting ceremony, go into your cave. Let's see what that means. Spirit, what do you mean by that? Who needs to go into their cave? I just heard somebody needs time. Okay, now we have call that person. Call that person. So somebody's going to be going into their cave, but then somebody's going to be chasing you into that cave. And say yes. So whatever you've been thinking about doing, whether you want to call that person or not, the answer is yes. Maybe they went into their cave and it's time for you to go get them out. An ending to a new beginning. Non-stop, guys, non-stop. They need space. Okay, lots of mixed messages here. Okay, so I just heard whoever's going through a breakup, they're needing to heal. They need space. They need to go into their cave and heal. And maybe call on that person, maybe means check on them. If it's a friend, if it's a family member, if it's your person that you're waiting on, we energetically check on them. We send them love. We pray for them. We don't pull on their energy. We don't say, I need you right now. Or we say, I am give them Reiki energy. Because remember, that change is difficult. It is not easy to go through these big life changes. Okay, make a plan to save money and more will come. This works like a charm. I can't even tell you. In September, I went and stayed at a beach house for a week. Or no, it was October. And at the beach house, I was manifesting money and I was journaling each morning on the kitchen counter. And I was like, universe, I'm so grateful now that my bills are paid. You paid off my credit card debt. I just kept saying it over and over again. And I also made a plan to say, all right, if I move and if I live at the beach for the winter, I'm going to save this much money. And I did the math and I figured it out. They offered me a certain amount to pay if I wanted to live at the beach house. And I found out a certain number and I was like, oh, this feels good. I feel like I'm going to be saving money. So I made a plan. Well, that weekend when I came back from the beach, that's when my credit card debt got paid off by an angel. It was amazing. It was so awesome. It came out of nowhere. It came out of the blue. But I believe it's because I opened up my energy. I rested. I took off from work. I slept a lot. I enjoyed my little mini vacation. I did a little bit of work when I was there, but I made a plan to set myself up to save money. And I switched up my routines. So I went to a new environment. So if you're wanting to manifest something into your life, change your environment, go to a new place, travel, talk to new people, do a cord cutting ceremony, clear out your closet, start eating differently. All of these things will create change in your life. Those are going to be the last few for the Micah Magic deck. It's time to create, hold the line, and 444, your angels are moving things. So when we're going into our cave, that could mean going on a vacation, like I just talked about, resting, calling on that person energetically and saying, hey, I love you. I hope you're okay. I'm sending you all the comfort and whatever you need to transition through this part of life that might be stinging you. And it's saying, hold the line. Don't just quickly abandon yourself or your situation or the love partnership just because things aren't happening yet. The universe is trying to create some sort of change. That divine detour is happening. So we just have to give ourselves grace and relax into this process. Okay, let's do a new deck that we haven't done in a while. Let's do the hidden truth. What does your person want to tell you? Okay, I don't know. That was really weird. I had a Micah Magic deck stuck in this deck, right? Did you guys? I can't wait to watch that back. So we just got this card in my hidden truth. That was bizarre. Okay, which is cool because that means money's coming. And today is my dad's birthday, and he always would say, I love you to infinity back times Pluto, or I love you to Pluto back times infinity, and eights always represent infinity. Oh, somebody regrets lying to you. They didn't tell the whole truth. And usually the lying is like, it could be a cheating energy. It could be maybe somebody not actually saying, I have feelings for you. Or maybe when you first meet, they kind of play it off and they act like it was nothing because they're scared. You came closer than anyone. We will be together again. What else? What else? I know I messed everything up. Okay, so it looks like there's an apology coming, or maybe not. Maybe they'll never apologize. Maybe they can't do it. They don't have the strength. Or maybe their life is stinging them so bad right now that they can't come forward and say that. So they're saying it to you through this reading. I'm starting to understand our connection. I like this one. Last two. Oh, three. I hid who I really am from you. You were the best thing in my life, of course, because you are fabulous. And I lost myself for a little while. So this is that raccoon energy. So sometimes when they lose themselves, that means they get in partnerships that are there for learning and growing, but it's an ego. It's the wounded attachment I'm hearing. So whatever partnership the person is in, they originally got in that partnership to see more of their ego, to see more of who they aren't. And they kind of mold into this relationship. They start a family, they do all the things, but it's not their true authentic self. And normally when that happens, there's not a lot of money coming in. The business doesn't work. And they're sitting there trying and trying and trying, and they don't understand it. But then you, divine feminine, you come along and it's like you push a button on their life and everything starts happening for them. And they're like, holy shit, like I need her. Without her, I can't do all of this. And it's not necessarily you, the divine feminine, it's just the energy match. It's because they're finally coming home to who they are. They're awakening to their own magic, and they're ascending and they're opening up their energy. And a lot of masculines are having Kundalini awakenings right now. So they feel this surge in their body for like a day or two. And it's their nervous system moving from the 3D to the 4D. And it's acclimating to that energy. And the 4D is pure love and bliss. So our nervous system, depending on how much trauma and things that we have, we can only handle that 4D energy for maybe a couple hours, for a day or two, and then it falls back down into the 3D because our body is not quite ready for that. But the masculines, I've had a couple different clients who are telling me they're having awakenings, friends that are telling me that they're having awakenings. And I remember when that happened to me a couple years ago, it's like this pure bliss for a couple days. You're like, I just love everything and I love everyone, and I feel like I know what I'm doing with my life and everything is flowing, and it's bliss. It's literally the heart chakra bursting open and your third eye is open and everything is just great, and then all of a sudden it goes away and you're like, wait, what just happened? It's your nervous system slowly elevating and ascending and getting more acclimated to this 4D energy that's trying to come in. And if that's a little woo-woo for everybody, just take it or leave it. But there is this Kundalini awakening that's happening. And the Kundalini is when all the chakra systems are in alignment, and it's a surge that is connecting you to source. So it goes from the base of your spine all the way up through your belly, through your heart, through your throat, out through your third eye and your crown. So these Kundalini awakenings are changing the masculine's lives and the feminine. We all go through it. We just go through it at different stages. And our job is, as feminines, is just to send them love and to, keep encouraging them to do their mission, keep encouraging them to just take care of themselves. But it's really cool to watch all of these people start awakening. And even people that you think are already awake, they're awakening deeper to their magic. And they're feeling that, like, they're like, I found my mission. I found what I'm supposed to be doing. And it feels so fucking good. And I've been waiting for this forever. And a lot of times when they're in partnerships, it's like, shit, I'm not supposed to be in this partnership anymore, but there's nothing wrong with it, but I'm just not supposed to be in it anymore because it's not a match to this new 4D version of myself. And that's where life starts to sting, because they have to leave jobs, they have to leave partnerships, they have to leave environments that don't match that 4D energy. Okay. Let's do a God card from my God deck. Okay. Miracles are seen in light. Let me recognize the problem so it can be solved. Okay, the back of this card says, a sense of separation from God is the only lack you really need to correct. And then only you can deprive yourself of anything. Do not oppose this realization, for it is truly the beginning of the dawn of light. So when you separate yourself from source, remember I said that Kundalini awakening, you are connecting. It's like you're tethered to source, and you're feeling, it's almost like an avatar, when they take their tails and they connect it to the tree, and it's like they can feel and see all the memories, and they can just feel tapped in. That's what's happening in an awakening phase. When you have that blissful state, you're connected. And when you feel that connection, you can't unfeel that. You now know what that feels like. And so a lot of people spend their whole life searching for that all the time, but that's okay. We don't need to always search for that, but it's just knowing that it's accessible and it's in us. Like, we don't have to search outside of ourselves. We have to go within and allow it to happen within. And that's when the miracles start to happen. That's when you start to see the angel numbers and the synchronicities, and everything just becomes enhanced. You look at a tree and you're just like, it is so beautiful. You look at a coffee and you're drinking the coffee and you're just like, oh my God, I love this. Or you're looking at somebody in the eyes and you're like, who are you and where have you been my whole life? You're just beautiful. Everything becomes more shiny and bright, and your experience just becomes better. And it's no longer like, when is my life going to get better? Everything is just so good right now. And how can we stay in that state all the time? And that's why I started my YouTube channel called Awakening, because I loved helping people one-on-one understand why this was happening and what was physically happening in their body and why were they feeling this bliss stage and then all of a sudden it goes away. I did a video a while back on the 6 stages of awakening, and it's not easy after you experience that bliss stage, because then you go into like a void and a dark night of the soul, and you're kind of faced with all of your fears, and you have to like go through this hard time, and your life kind of changes very, very quickly. And that's when it stings, but that's also a divine detour. Things are falling away, you're losing friends, you might be losing clients, but when things are being pulled away from you, do your cord cutting ceremony, cut the cord so they can fully be gone, and embrace the blank space. Embrace, when you just move into a new house and there's nothing in it yet, and just your old stuff that is on the truck. Embrace that little break of just like, I'm starting fresh. This is an ending to a new beginning, which is what my sign here says. That's why I made that one card. It was inspired from the sign. But embrace the blank space. You have a beginner's mind now. You're starting brand freaking new. And it just feels so good to be in your new skin, having new feelings, new thoughts. You're seeing life differently. You're appreciating food and relationships and a drive in your car. It's just all the small things matter the most now. And it's because you're able to start fresh and you're not so clouded by the old life and the old people. So if you're going through an awakening right now and people are falling away, you feel like you need to change your job or change your relationship, allow the change to occur and get excited for that blank space. It's a fresh start. Yes, it can be sad to leave the people you love behind, but they're not going anywhere. They're still here. And even if they have passed, like my dad and my daughter, they're still with me. I still feel their energy. It's a different kind of love. And actually, you feel stronger. I feel love more deeply now because of my daughter and my dad than I do with humans that are on this planet. It grows because that heartbreak opens up your heart and it allows more light in, more love in. So then it enhances your experience. So remember, miracles will start to happen when you open up and allow life to sting a little, to create space, to pull things away so you can make space for the new. All right, lovies, I hope you enjoyed this book or reading with me. If you need help or a coaching call, whatever you need to guide you through what you're going through. I'm sending you so much love. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, and I will see you in our midweek reading. All right, peace out.